So the Pokemon Tyrantrum is a pretty solid Pokemon all around. Now, granted, I don't think it's the most amazing Pokemon where you would want to use it every team you have, but also it's not horrible where you would never want to use it at all. It's all around just a pretty good Pokemon. You have pretty nice stats all around too. Pretty nice HP stat. You can actually live hits. You're relatively bulky. And hey, really good physical defensive stats being 119. Really, really high. With an even better physical attack stat being 121. Really, really strong, right? The only problem, in my opinion, is that hey, you're relatively slow with a 71 speed stat. Now, granted, it's not the worst thing out there, but it's also not the best thing. You do have stuff like, let's say, Choice Scarf or Dragon Dance to raise your speed, but realistically, you would want more speed in general, because speed is probably the most important stat in the game. Another thing that Tyrantrum suffers with is, like every other fossil Pokemon, it's a rock type. And if you know my videos and you watch my channel, you know I don't like the rock typing. It's just not that good. It's weak to pretty much every common typing in the game, or at least every type it's weak to is very common. Dragon, you have Garchomp, you have Roaring Moon, for example. Fairy types, you have the Azumarill, you have the Tapus. Everything is fairy. Fairy is one of the best typings. Fighting, almost everything has close combat. Ground, pretty much every team has a ground type. Same with Steel, and Ice is just one of the best offensive typings in the game as well. Well, your abilities aren't the worst things out there. They're also not the best. Strong Jaws, it boosts up biting moves, which you don't really have any stabs, so like there's no stab rock move to boost up the power, so you're most likely going to run Rockhead, which you can use something like, let's say, Head Smash, and you take no recoil from, which Head Smash is a pretty strong move. 150 base power with no drawbacks other than it's pretty inaccurate. That's pretty nice. That's pretty nice. And you have stuff like, let's say, Outrage or Close Combat or Dragon Claw or even Dragon Dance, for example. So overall, I think Tyrantrum is pretty solid, but with its low speed stat and its pretty bad typing, you really aren't going to be the best thing out there. But hey, at least you actually can hit pretty hard back. And yeah, with that being said, thank you all for stopping, and goodbye.